But in the meantime, the concrete is drying for our footings. I've got my blocks in place, and I've got the square of the deck framing in place just to see what it looks like, see how far off my level is. And I knew I was going to have to block this front section. Even though it's level side to side in the front, it's not level front to back. So I'm going to block this up with a 2x6, just pieces of a 2x6 on top of each one of those blocks, and that'll get it up to level. It's about 1.5 inches low in the front. And you can see I got a 1.5 block there, 1.25 block sitting there on top of the concrete foundation or footing. I do have a little concrete mix left over, and I'm going to use that to build my rocket stove. I think I'm going to use mortar. I'm not sure yet, but that's going to be another video series, my rocket stove, and that's going to be over yonder somewhere. In the meantime, I'm going to build the rest of the joists in this weekend. I didn't make it to the lumber yard before they closed today, so I don't have the 5/4 inch decking. That's going to have to be Monday. So the rest of the weekend is going to be putting in the joists, building the rocket stove, and a couple other small projects. And unfortunately, Charles Shaw is not going to be around to join me. I just finished my $2 chuck, which now I think is about $3.99 these days. It used to be $2. Again, I wanted to put it up on these blocks because the flooding, when it happens, the flooding comes all the way up to about there, right where my foot is. Right about there. Okay, starting to rain, so we got to work quick today. I'm trying to clean up all the tools before they get wet. So I got the blocks in, the wooden blocks, to bring this up to level with the back 2x6x12. I knew I was going to have to do that because the cinder blocks don't quite bring it to level, and it's getting close. We're almost there. As you can see, the bubble is just a hair off, so I got to raise the right side a little more. I might be able to actually fit another full cinder block over on that right side. But I'm just starting to lay out the joists. We're going to be doing 18 inches on center because we don't have enough joists to do 16 inches on center, and 18 will be sufficient for this 5/4 decking that we're putting on top. 5/4 decking comes out to about 1 inch thickness, right around 1 inch, plus or minus a 1/16. So we're going to start attaching these joists in a few minutes if the rain holds up. Okay, we've got our 4 corners of our rectangle, 4 boards of our rectangle laid out. The 12-foot front, 8-foot sides, and we're just going to check a rough square before we put any nails in. We're going to use our framing square here and check to see how close we are to square, and that corner looks pretty good. We're going to go up to this other corner. This is the back upper corner. Put our framing square in, and that corner is looking pretty flush against the framing square on both sides. And then another way to check our square, let's check one more here. This is also a back corner, and you can see the framing square is flush against both of those sides on the 2x6x12 and the 2x6x8. So another way to check our square is we're going to run a tape measure from corner to corner. I'll put the camera down to do that and show you what I mean. Now we're going to run this corner to corner on a diagonal. So we're taking a measurement. Let's see if this is going to be in the shot. No, it's not. Got to get it back here a little further. That's better. We're going to put this tape measure on a diagonal and measure from the point on this 2 by 6 by 12, right at the point corner, all the way over to the point corner on this one. And we're going to remember this measurement of exactly 176 inches. Exactly 176 inches. Now we're going to measure the exact opposite diagonal, which is the point corner on that 12 footer all the way over to the point corner on this. And remarkably, I didn't even do this in advance, but remarkably it's at 176 inches. So our box of 4 boards is perfectly square. So we're going to put one nail in, the top nail, on each one of these 2 by 6s, and then we're going to measure again to see if it needs tweaking after we do some nailing. So why don't we start right over here. We'll nail that front 12 footer to the side 8 footer. Let me find my nails from Lowe's for 15 bucks for 5 pounds. Nails and building materials aren't cheap these days. We're using 3-inch common galvanized nails. When you're working outdoors, always use galvanized nails. Galvanized means they've got a little gray coating on them so they don't rust so quickly. If you use regular bright shiny finish, bright shiny nails, they rust in 6 months. So again, we're going to just put one. Now each board is going to require 3 nails from top to bottom. 1, 2, 3. But we're just going to put the top nail in first. You want to line it up dead center. Start it with a few taps. Now try and hold this 8 footer in place so your square doesn't move out of square too much. Put a lot of weight on it. And we'll hammer that home. Make sure it's flush to the top here where I'm rubbing my thumb, and flush on the side here. And we're going to drive these almost home. Don't worry about that gap there. We're going to suck that in with the next 2 nails here and here. So this is just holding the we're just holding the square box in place right now. Let's see if we can zoom in on that one. Well, we nailed that. Next one. There we go. Our box is really close to square. It's almost exactly square right now. So we don't want to move it very much while we're hammering these in place. Again, flush across the top. We're going to the back border, fraction of an inch, just like a 16. Flush, and flush across the sides. We're just tapping this in place again. Just so with a little stability. And then we check the square on the diagonals. We'll go ahead and hammer this home. Let's see if we can get a shot of that corner. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Again, we're going to lift this board up to 16 to make it flush across the top. Here we go. That's pretty close. You want to get this close? That's really the foundation of your box. So you want to get these first 4 boards as flush and square as possible. And the last corner. Right over there. You can see a big gap there, and we're hoping to suck that gap in. The first part nail. See if it sucks in. And it did. And now I'm going to suck in that bottom. So, I'm going to put in the bottom nail also. You're both home now. Right, now we're going to keep going around and putting the additional 2 nails in each 2 by 6. Again, each one gets 3 nails. We're going to keep checking our square as we go. Each one of these gets 3 nails. 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, 1 in the middle. And you can use the eyeballing right in the center. You'll get to be that square. That eyeballing. So they're perfectly centered on the board they're going into. Check it flush. And we're going to both closer. They both look good. We're going to get a pretty good solid framing nail. These larger ones are counterweighted, so you get a swing from. These hammers can range from 50 bucks to 250 bucks. I got this one for like 45, about 10 years ago. So it's pretty good framing hammer. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, now we're going to keep going around and putting the additional 2 nails in each 2 by 6. Again, each one gets 3 nails, and we're going to keep checking our square as we go. Each one of these gets 3 nails, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and 1 in the middle. And you'll get used to eyeballing these right in the center. Over time, you'll get to be an expert at eyeballing these so that they're perfectly centered on the board that they're going into. Check your flush, and we're going to send both of those home too, because they both look good. You want to get a pretty good solid framing nail. These longer ones are counterweighted, so you got a good swing to them. These hammers can range from $50 to $250. I got this one for like $45 about 10 years ago. So it's a pretty good framing hammer. All right, that's it for now.